This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Whether you're looking for that last card to complete your online deck or just to get the latest booster packs in town, they literally have everything. You can use the coupon code ZAPDOISTCG to get 5% off your next order. Also, this video is sponsored by Cardmarket.com. Cardmarket is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can use the referral name ZAPDOISTCG to help support the channel. This video is also sponsored by YourPlaymat.com. This is a website to create your own custom playmat from scratch. You can upload your own unique design or your favorite wallpaper and then turn it into a beautiful playmat. There's a link down below to get 10% off your next order. Last but certainly not least is DragonShield.com. There are links down below for people from the US and people from Europe where you're going to be able to buy sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. And of course, Dragon Shield is the best brand to protect your beautiful cards. I recommend them for every tournament, so definitely check out the links, and it's going to help out support the channel so much. So thanks for sticking around with the commercials, and let's get this video started already. Peace! What's up YouTube, it's ZAPDOISTCG here and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG content, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new. Today we're going to be checking out some deck lists of the Kyoto Champions League. That's right, the Kyoto Champions League took place this weekend with 2,950 players in that tournament. That's huge. That's like triple times the numbers that we get in the US, and even more if you can check in like the tournaments in Europe. So a huge tournament taking place, and we'll have some results right here. I'm at the website news.com, so there's a link down below so you can check out this website for yourself. But surprisingly, the champion actually was able to be the Regigigas deck. Haha, what do you know? I wrote off Regigigas a long time ago because here in the Western world, there's a lot of control around, a lot of Dunsparce, etc., Collapse Stadium. So, but Regigigas is still a solid deck. Let's check out the deck list together, shall we? So let's head over to TCG Online. And if you guys are hyped for today's upload, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It only takes 1 second of your time, and I do appreciate it a ton. So let's snap. Okay, so here we are. This is the exact 60 that won the entire tournament. So it looks like a vanilla Regi list, to be honest. There's the 4 of research, of course, which I'm always a big fan of. Some people are cutting it down because they added in some more Serenas. They're not playing the Pokestop build. This is needed for the Lugia meta right now. You have Path to the Peak, which can shut down the abilities of Pokemon with rule boxes, so that's very great. Even against Lost Zone boxes, you can shut down the Radiant Greninja. So a very great card. Against Mew VMAX, sometimes they're not able to do anything at all. The list is running like a very awkward amount of Regis because typically you would see the bad Regileki, because that in combination with Yellowhorn wins yourself if you see a random Ice Cube. But this list is of course still respecting Boss's orders as a way to gust up opponents, and with the 1-off Escape Rope, you can do some funky plays with Escape Rope, Boss, and then KO the Ice Cube, I would say. But a very consistent list, seeing as you have the 3 Regilekis, your preferred opening Pokemon, so you're going to be able to use the Speed Lightning onto it, draw cards. You're going to be able to, of course, use Trekking Shoes to draw more cards. You're going to have that Research, draw more cards. So the deck really sets itself up. I'm very strangely seeing 2 Hisuian Heavy Ball in here. Typically you would only see 1, but it does make sense seeing as he's learning a low amount of Pokemon, so no 3rd copy of the Draco that can slap to 40, no 3rd copy of the Regigigas, which I'm always a big fan of, with Mew VMAX being around and playing Lost City and Silene. So at one point Mew VMAX that is playing Lost City can get the better of you, but we've seen a lot more like Mew Judge builds with a lot of Path to the Peak instead of Lost City, so it makes sense that they cut down the Regigigas, I suppose. And also Regi is always like a deck that nobody respects it. People are playing Ice Cube for, of course, the Lost Zone box deck, but yeah, Regi just around here getting away with only playing 2 copies of the Gigas here, and other than that, these are like the perfect Regis, right? So What else do we see is one rope, so they cut down on one Scoop Up Net. This is also something I was trying out. I'm a huge fan of Escape Rope. When I was playing Regis before in the Bilbao special event, I was playing even 3 copies of Escape Rope. This really helps you out against Flying Pikachu, and Flying Pikachu was also around at the Kyoto Champions League, so maybe that's gonna be a crucial card that could save specific matchups. Only playing 3 Ordinary Rod though, so I'm not too sure how to feel about this, because you are running Tracking Shoe, you are playing Research. At one point there will be the ways you want to have your 4th Ordinary Rod here, but you're not playing the Pokestop build, so getting away with 3 here, although with only playing 2 of each except for the Regieleki. I don't know how to feel about the Rod, although if you are attacking with Regieleki most of the time, and a lot of matchups against Lost Zone Box you do that, against Lugia you do that, so it makes sense that you of course can get away with it, because you can get of course the Regieleki. It is in the discard pile, doesn't matter because you still have 2 of them left, and with 2 heavy balls you automatically find them if they are in the prize cards. 4 Tracking Shoe, big fan of that, definitely because the deck is really slow with Path to the Peak. In the past you had like Pokestop to get the first turn attack off, but now 4 copies of Tracking Shoe allow you to dig a little bit deeper. Very similar to the American build that we've seen before with Azul GG piloting that with of course the Tracking Shoes at Path to the Peak. What else is that Serena is a huge boost to the deck. Now we have ways to discard some energies from hand and draw some cards, as well as Gusting. So you have 3 Serena with Gusting, and you have the Boss's Orders as well. So a very solid Regi list, and probably will be performing quite well, although there are still some counters around for Regis, but this is the first place winning list. Then the runner-up was Lugia VSTAR. Lugia VSTAR, we've also had it here, so I'm actually just gonna showcase that list as well. Lugia Kyoto, that is the second place, the runner-up list. Excuse me for the fact that I have all different Arceus here, because I don't have any more. So I have a holo, I have 2 non-holos and a reverse. Just make do with it. I'll be sure to, of course, get some... what am I? Yeah, I'm going to have some exports in the description as well, which can help out if you want to be creating these decks yourself. So, what do we see here? It's just very similar to Tord Reckless build. If I'm taking a look at it at first glance, there's the 4 capture energy, which help to get yourself a perfect start, so it does make sense. And also no respecting the paralyzation. Maybe that is just a Western thing that people are playing paralysis decks with Articuno as well as Zekrom. Didn't see that a lot over at the Kyoto Champions League, so they're still playing Stoutland, one of the best attackers against Lost Zone Box. Instead of playing like a 4 copy of Research, I would say, they're playing Crobat to draw a little bit deeper. The thing I found here, like with Crobat, is that you don't always have the bench space to have like a Pumpkaboo when their Path is around to slap down Crobat to draw more cards and double Arceus and some attackers. That's something, that's why I don't play Crobat in my specific build, but it does help out to push a little bit further in the opening turns when you have a very bad hand and want to get those Arceus in the discard pile. Other than that, nothing I could say. The 2-2 split between Serena and Boss is still great. I don't see Heat Fire energy in here. I don't see Twin energy in here, but they do respect the V-Guard energy for, of course, mirror situations. Yveltal still one of the most broken cards in the game right now, which is able to one-shot anything. So a straight-up consistent Lugia list. Making second place, nothing to be surprised about here. Moving forward, we're going to be going to the top 4. The top 4 actually contained a very funky Lost Zone box, and the Lost Zone box was also playing Zygarde. So we did see Lost Zone box before with Kyogre and Grand Manly piling it to some great success here and there. This time around, it's very similar to that list. We still have the late game sweep with Kyogre and the Aqua Storm because of the energy recyclers that are in the list. Also, you have that Raikou for early game pressure against Lugia. You have Oranguru to protect yourself from some Marnie plays. And the cool thing is that this list is also playing Zygarde with the Core Avenger, slapping 160 damage if the opponent, if you have more prize cards remaining than the opponent. So this could be a nice way in which you can knock out the Stoutland. In the past, you needed like Snorlax and Choice Belt to do it, but the Zygarde is also able to clean up on Stoutland, which is nice for sure. Only one Sableye and only one Cramorant. I don't know how to feel about that. Only one Hisuian Heavy Ball as well. If you don't find your correct attacker in the early phase of the game, you might be in a very disadvantaged situation. But they got away with it. Got like top 4, so they definitely cannot complain. Another funky card I see in here is the Earthen Sealstone. With this, you can slap 100, actually you can slap put damage counters on the opponent's V Pokemon until the remaining HP is 100. This could be nice against like random VMAX decks, for instance like Kyurem or something, put them to 100 HP remaining and then win the game either with a Kyogre Aqua Storm or with a Sableye which can spread damage with the Lost Mine. I really like the fact that this is a rogue card that nobody respects, so putting damage counters on all the V Pokemon. Imagine you're up against Mew VMAX and you just put all those Genesects HP to like 90 HP remaining. That's gonna be ridiculous, so you can swoop up away with a Kyogre Storm a little bit easier, as well as swooping them up maybe with a Cramorant boss. It is possible because this list is running boss in here as well. So funky list, all different energies, helps out really well with the Mirage Gate, but it's also not running switch cards. Instead, it's playing like 3 ropes as well as 4 scoop up nets, but they do have the air balloon in here, so and they can also manually retreat by getting, of course, an attach up the turn. So Lost Zone box still great as ever before. People don't always expect when they see fighting, they might say, oh, there's an amazing Rayquaza coming. Lost Zone box can throw anything at the opponent. That's why it is still a very great deck in the format. So moving forward, we have another Kyoto deck, and this is the deck that surprised me the most. This actually got top 4, and it is Eternatus VMAX. Eternatus VMAX has been put to the wayside ever since the tag teams rotated, but now it seems to be back, very popular still in Japan, and is running the neutralizing gas Weezing. With Weezing, you're going to be able to shut down the opponent from playing the game because all abilities are shut down. No more flower selecting, no fusion strike system, no any abilities that could actually work, so that's gonna be fantastic. So all the abilities shut down, no Crobat, no Luminion, there's still stuck, no Summoning Star, so all the V-Star abilities as well, everything is shut down. You can get Weezing out instantly by using Ascension of a Coughing, or you can use Boost Shake, which is also in here to get a Weezing out of nowhere. You have some Switch cards in here, you have 2 copies of Switch as well as a Hiding Dark Energy, and with a high amount of Crobat, you're gonna be swooping through the deck like never before. The cool thing is that this list is not running more Hiding Dark Energies, but instead opted to go for a huge amount of Temple of Sinnoh. This can shut down the Regi deck, this can shut down the Lugia deck from getting the one-hit KOs on the big Eternatus VMAX. Also, the list is running Big Parasol. A Big Parasol Eternatus VMAX is going to be very tricky for Lugia players to get around, definitely with a Temple of Sinnoh in play. So early game, you have Weezing until you have your entire setup with Eternatus. You do have Dark Patches to set them up. And once the Eternatus are all set in motion, you can swoop the entire field of the opponent because a Big Parasol is on your Lugia, on your Eternatus to protect yourself from Amazing Rare Yveltal. And the Weezing has poison and maybe even got a KO with the severe poison. You can even boost that damage out, but with the poison peak of the Radiant Hisuian Sneasler. Very, very solid list, and it is actually consistent with the Forest Sealstone. You might say, like, how do I get this off turn 1? Finding the Boost Shake? Well, Forest Sealstone is actually like any 2 copies of any card you want. You can find any card you want with the Forest Sealstone. So you also hit Mew VMAX for weakness. You shut the opponent down from playing the game. This is a list that we definitely need to make a video of just to see how good it actually really is. It also has the Roxanne situation going where you can actually find it in the late game with Forest Sealstone if you are in the late game phases of the game. So a very cool list that we really need to check out, and actually got top 4 at Kyoto. So these are the lists that I actually imported into my TCGO account. Now we're actually going to be moving to Ho-Oh news once again because there's still more to figure out. Okay, so here we are. As we saw here, the opponent was the people here were really glad to have, like, look at that trophy card. That's super crazy, man. What else? So we did talk about the top 4 here, the list here of the Eternatus. Moving forward, let's check out the top 8, shall we? So we had, of course, top 4 that we were talking about here. Kyoto 2023 Masters top 8. What was in top 8? There was another Lugia VSTAR. Let's take a look at the list together, shall we? And also, yeah, as you can see, you can also follow me on Twitter for the latest TCG content in town. So let's check out this list together, shall we? What do we see here? Hopefully you guys can see that. It is a 3-3 line of the Lugia VSTAR, so they cut down on the one Lugia V. Of course, the Stoutland is still part of the gang. 4 copies of Arceus, as it should be. This list is running the Raikou, though, so they are, of course, respecting ways that if people cannot get out their Manaphy in time, you can get multiple KOs with the amazing rare Raikou. Other than that, for Quick Ball, for Evolution Essence, for Ultra Ball, just the classics. But this list is also running 2 copies of Path to the Peak, so they want to have the edge in the mirror, presumably, so they can can slap down Pat, use a Marnie, which you can of course have. Maybe like Luminion first, get the Marnie, then slap down Pat, Marnie, and then maybe the opponent's Lugia will be doing nothing at all because they cannot get rid of the Pat, and you were able to summoning Star before then. We also have the big Parasol, protecting yourself against amazing rare Yveltal. On top of the V-Guard energy that is also in here, this list is also playing a Twin energy. So the Twin energy could help to, of course, attack with Archeops a little bit more consistent. If you only get like one Archeops out, Archeops can actually be an attacker in specific matches, which you can power up with one single swoop. And sometimes if you use double turbo and the powerful, it's only slapping 120. 120 sometimes is not enough. There are, I see a Roxanne in there as well, so doubling up on Marnie, 1 Roxanne, and then 3 Research to just draw a lot of cards. And then a 2-2 split of the Serena boss. So yeah, another great Lugia list. Like almost all the Lugia list has been perfected so far. Like 55 cards are like solid, and then people flip-flop between like, am I playing Amazing Rare Raikou? Am I playing some additional energies? Am I playing some more stadium bumps? It all depends on your playstyle, to be honest. So huge congratulations to that person. And then Mew also got top 8. Mew VMAX. Let's check out Mew VMAX together, shall we? Mew VMAX is always a deck that you always need to respect. It's always seemingly there. Okay. What do we see here? Yeah, there's some sponsors in the way, so let's just get rid of them right now. So we can see that a little bit more closely. There we go. So yeah, I'm also in the way. There's 1 Roxanne behind me. Hopefully you guys can see that. What else can we say about this Mew VMAX list? It is running that pad situation where it is playing the Lost Vacuums. We see that before. It is working really well. The split between 2 copies of Marnie, 1 copy of Judge. The Judge you can find with Cramomatic or with the Forest Sealstone. So you can Judge Pat or you can Marnie Pat depending on if the opponent has used Oranguru or not. The list is running cross switchers. It is running switch cards, so respecting some damage counters being flip-flopped here and there. And it is still running the Oricorio to protect yourself from yeah, some additional damage output. Mew VMAX is still a strong deck, and this list aims to just go for Judge Pat or Marnie Pat as soon as the first turn going second, or the second turn if you went first. So the opponent is not able to play the game because they cannot get rid of Pat, and you are just a strong deck in general with Choice Belts and Power Tablets to swoop away on the opponent. So Mew VMAX still around. So we did see Lost Zone Box as expected. We did see Lugia VSTAR as expected. There's a lot of decks that we expected. I did not expect Eternatus. If you guys were expecting Eternatus, let me know. Then we see some more top 8s, but these lists are not confirmed quite yet. But the links are of course in the description if you want to refresh that website once they come up. There's a top 16 here with the Arceus and Flying Pikachu. So this list, if I can put it over here so we can take a look at it a little bit easier. Okay, let's see here. Sure. Okay, there is 2 Serenas behind me. Let's just move aside a little bit. Yeah, 2 Serenas behind me, and this is playing Flying Pikachu. Only a 1/1 line, but also is playing Tapu Koko VMAX, which automatically paralyzes if you're behind in prize cards, which can then KO a Lugia VSTAR. I don't know how to feel about this, although it is playing double Parasol, so you are not weak against a random Yveltal. The Lugia player will need to find their one-off vacuum, which they cannot search for, which can then mean you can paralyze, KO, and then KO something else as well with the Tapu Koko VMAX. You can either go Arceus, Tapu Koko VMAX, which is a great strategy because it's like similar to Duraludon in that sense, is that you have the 8 prize game going and works for you. You have 4 copies of Pat as well. Also a deck we really need to check out. I'm Flying Pikachu VMAX with Big Parasol also auto wins against Regis. So yeah, very cool to see. Regis are always popular in Japan, it seems. Are we having anything else to see here? Another top 16 with Lugia and Galarian Weezing. We don't have the list. I think people are asking for the list, but we don't see it quite yet. And then some more top 16, so they will come up very shortly. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of the run through of the Kyoto League. And, this has actually been so insane that 2,950 players participated at the Champions League, and there could have been more, but it's something like with a lottery ticket going around where people will have to have some luck to enter these tournaments because they are capped at a specific amount, and they always work with like a system like it's some sort of a lottery, and then you can enter the tournament, and if you don't have a chance to participate in this one, your chance of getting to the next one is higher. So there's a complete video on the web around that with a Hexter explaining all that. So anyhow, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. We will check out the Eternatus list later this week. But yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys then. Thanks for watching. And as always, go check out our sponsors. Links down below if you need sleeves, binders, deck boxes, cards, TCGO codes. There's all links down below for that. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day. And I will see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. Peace.